Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and this video is Target. This video is titled "Target is going to have a very bad year." CNN has an article up called "Target has terrible holiday and warns of awful 2017." Don't get me wrong. I mean, you find stuff at Target that, well, is kind of not relevant to the current year. If you go to places like New York or LA at that, they have stuff that's selling like hotcakes, stuff that is selling out, that people have to wait in order to get. But at Target, only at Target can you find stuff like this. TLC's Crazy Cool Sexy album. I appreciate that this was the only album copy left of it at the Target I went to when I got it. But TLC hasn't been popular since '94. You know how old this album is? Waterfalls is on this album. Waterfalls is on this album. That's how old this album is. It's 23 years old this year. It's 23 years old. If Target stopped selling 23-year-old albums, maybe they would get more people to buy shit from there. Look, I consider myself a bit of a nostalgic person. I got this, a $10 handheld radio. I listen to this now more than I watch TV, but I enjoy this. But do you think some 17-year-old is going to appreciate a nostalgic hand radio? No, they're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to enjoy the simplicity of it because everyone needs a goddamn iPhone, or everybody needs the latest iPhone, which is basically the same as the older iPhone, but with one new feature on it. Anyway, yeah, and this is especially what I love about the article. I got to turn this around so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay? Target no longer in style. No shit. The store's from the early 2000s. You're talking about a store that was around during the Bush era of America. You're talking about a store that opened up in 2000. I remember another store that was opened from the 90s and is still open today, BJ's. A club store like Sam's Club. Sam's Club has been around since the 80s. BJ's has been around since the 90s. Target missed the bullseye badly during the holiday. It reported earnings that were below forecast, and the company's overlook this year was much worse than expected, sending stock down 30% in early trading. Shares are down 20% by this year. Like I said, stop selling shit that's 23 years old and stop selling stuff people aren't going to buy. Target, who shops there? Adults, for the most part, because that's what the store's targeted to. Pun intended. And why not sell adult toys there? Yeah, I'm not talking about toys for children. I mean adult toys that you can only find at adult shops. You know, like AdamandEve.com, stuff like that. Why not sell vibrators there? Why not sell anal beads there? You know, something that adults will actually go out to Target to buy something from. You know, because, you know, you always have that weird person in your friend circle who always brags about wanting anal beads for Christmas. And you can only find them online. But if Target's sold anal beads, do you think people would be shopping there on Black Friday? Yes, they would, just for the anal beads. You get the picture. The terrible numbers from Target are just another sign of how tough it is for traditional retailers to compete against online juggernaut as Amazon, because Amazon is selling stuff that people actually want to buy. For example, look, Amazon should be a place that sells 23-year-old albums, because that's what Amazon is. Amazon is a warehouse. I bought a copy of Frank Sinatra Duets off of Amazon. But if someone goes to Target and sees a copy of Frank Sinatra Duets, they're not going to think it's the new hip Justin Timberlake album. They're going to say, this is a dinosaur fossil. Why is this being sold here? Not to shit on Frank Sinatra. I love Sinatra, but, you know, you get the point. Hold on a sec. Before I continue, I just want to... pull up something. Just want to pull up the chat room, just in case. Anyway, sorry about that. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Yeah. People, a young person is going to see that Frank Sinatra album at Target and think this is a crustacean dinosaur fossil. Why is this being sold here? Sell something like Justin Timberlake's new album or Adam Lambert's new album, something that young people are going to buy. I'm a young person who likes old stuff. I'll go to thrift shops and buy old VHSs. I'll go to stores to buy antique shit. I like the antiques. Not a lot of young people do, though. So you're not going to get a broad number of people to shop at your store if you're stuck in the 1990s. Our fourth quarter results have reflect the impact of rapidly changing customer behavior, which drove very strong digital growth, but unexpected softness in our stores, said Brian Cornell, chairman, CEO of Target. And that's the other thing. Get rid of your CEO that thinks that America still shops at Kmart. Kmart's out of business. Kmart, for the most part, is out of business. Sears is, for the most part, out of business. Last time I checked, you know, a lot of the stores I grew up with are going out of business. Hallmark is going out of business. Gertrude Hawkes is losing stock. I mean, we're talking about Gertrude Hawk. I remember getting candy from there as a kid. They're losing stock too. To Target's credit, the company has embraced a conference. Target has digital sales upward 34% from year. There you go. Digital sales, but sell shit people are actually going to buy, and that's what you do on your website. People buy stuff off of your store online because you have a warehouse that has stuff people are going to buy. I still strongly suggest selling anal beads there, but hey, you know, kids don't go to Target for toys. They go to Toys R Us. That's higher than Amazon's overall sales growth during the holidays, and even outpaced a 29% jump in online revenue growth than Walmart posted in fourth quarter. Well, Walmart sells cheap shit. You know, you buy milk from Walmart online, it's stale the next week. The problem is that the online sales are not growing quickly enough to offset the digital declines in Target's physical stores. Target said overall revenue fell more than 4% from a year ago. A part of that was because of Target's decision to sell its in-store pharmacies to CVS in late 2015. But revenue was down at Target even after factoring in the absence of pharmacy sales from the fourth quarter of 2016 results. Well, I wouldn't go to Target for my prescriptions, if you ask me. You know, I would rather go to CVS anyway for my prescriptions, or Rite Aid, or any place that I know or feel comfortable buying prescriptions from. I wouldn't feel comfortable buying my prescriptions from Target. Customers are increasingly shunning traditional retailers like Target and shopping online. Macy's, Kohl's, JCPenney's, and Sears have also been hit hard by the shift in recent years. Yeah, like I said, for the most part, all these stores are going out of business physically because they're not selling things in the stores that people want. Target seems to have been caught off guard by the magnitude of the change, though the company had predicted a strong holiday quarter in November, but warned to generate its result would miss forecast. If you predicted your own doom, why are you upset about it? That makes no sense to me. There we go. So, the numbers Target reported on Tuesday were even worse than the forecast last month. Forecast. Number one, why should stores use the term forecast? I mean, do the employees get together like every day? Like, here's the next 7-day forecast for Target. High sales in the 20s. Tuesday, low 30% sales at that night. And on Friday, high 50% sales. I mean, is that what Target is doing? Is Target trying to be the Weather Channel of stores when they use the term forecast? The company expects earnings for the first quarter of the first full fiscal year to be lower than what Wall Street analysts were predicting. Stop letting Wall Street predict what Target sales are going to be. Wall Street doesn't know if people are shopping at Target anyway. Wall Street only knows their own fucking greed. This is coming from a right-wing libertarian. I can't stand Wall Street. Wall Street is annoying to me. As a libertarian, they tax people too much. As a right-wing person, I think that they should, be demolished. Because the right-wing side of me is saying, well, they're criminals. They got away with a financial disaster that President Obama helped them cover up. Bush, let them cause the problem, but Obama bailed them out instead of putting these fucks in prison where they should be. No, they're still working there. And the libertarian side of me says, no, these people tax people too much. Give the taxes back to the people. The right wing party and the libertarian side both agree that Wall Street are assholes, and I don't like Wall Street. I think they're pointless. And so when I see stuff like this, like, oh, Wall Street predicted this store would do well, but they were wrong. Wall Street doesn't know who's shopping there. Okay, here's a good example. I want to see a Wall Street analyst report of AdamandEve.com. How many people are shopping online on AdamandEve.com? I want to see that forecast, that prediction. You're not going to see it though. And Target said same-store sales, which measures the performance of stores open at least a year, will fall in the first quarter of the full year. Target's declining because people are shopping online for shit that Target doesn't sell at the store. For example, you know, you have the new what's the latest boy band out there? I don't even keep up with modern day music. Let's just say Nicki Minaj has a new album out. You're not going to find it at Target. You're going to find it on Amazon. Why? Because Target sells TLC albums still. And no, if you're thinking, who's TLC? My point exactly. What else? And decline in commodity prices also led to problems at Target's grocery division. Once again, groceries at Target is like how groceries at Kmart saved them. It didn't. Groceries at retail stores, in my opinion, are questionable. You buy a steak from Walmart, you probably get the shit afterwards. You buy milk from Walmart, good chance it has 2 days before it passed its sell-by date. I prefer to buy groceries at a grocery store. Just saying. Many big supermarket chains like Kroger and Whole Foods have warned that while lower food prices can be good news for customers, that it hurts margins of retailers. Exactly, because people go to grocery stores to buy groceries. They don't go to Target or Walmart. Some people go to Walmart, but I hear people get sick from their products. I lucked out, but some people didn't. Target says it plans to transition to new financial model. What new financial model? This is where the right-wing side of me says, what financial model? You're doing bad already with your current financial model, which has been your new financial model since 2009. You know, what other financial model could you possibly come up with? Target, you remind me of Congress. You remind me of how Congress works. Let's do the same old shit and we'll get the same old result. You know, you gotta keep, if you want a new financial model, sell stuff people are actually going to buy. Sell Adidas at Target. Or did I just age myself there? Does anybody wear Adidas anymore? I wonder if I just aged myself. Or maybe sell the latest Jordans, or sell the latest, you know, Timbuktu products, or sell the latest, you know, you know, the latest products by Coco Chanel and all those people. You know, products like that. You know, if you sell those new items out of your stores, you're going to get sales. You are. During a conference call with analysts Tuesday morning, executives talked about how Target will spend more to revamp existing stores, open new stores, upgrade its supply chain and inventory management, and boost its digital operations. Your online sales are doing fine. They are. It's in your own CNN article. Your online sales are doing fine. Why would you open up new stores and sell stuff that isn't going to sell? That's like me opening up a store full of, you know, broken 1950s televisions and calling it the latest TV. You know, you're not going to sell products if you know they're already not selling. You got to sell stuff people are going to buy. At a time when many others are shrinking, we are investing. Chief Financial Officer Kathy Smith said. She added that the company will overlook the lower prices in a dozen exclusive brands, excuse me. Okay, first of all, number one, stop making exclusive brands for Target. This is why Walmart failed in the mid 2000s for the most part, because they were pushing too much Walmart products in their own TV movies. Great value this, great value that, great value this, and no one was still shopping at Target. No, sorry, Walmart. At this point, I can't tell the difference between Target and Walmart because they're doing the same financially. They're both doing bad. Even though Walmart does a little bit better than Target in average, they still sell the same stuff people aren't buying. You know, who goes to Walmart for an iPhone? No one. They go to the Apple store and buy an iPhone. Who goes to, you know, Walmart for, you know, the latest fashion? No one. They buy it online. Who goes to, or they go to a high-end store like Hollister or places like that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that door. But back to my point. No one goes to Walmart or Target for the latest fashion. They buy it online. Cornell tried to stress the positive aspect of Target's new plan, saying Target is doubling down while other many of its competitors are struggling to survive. He also said the company will lower prices to be more competitive with other retailers. Lower prices for what? This TLC album I bought was $5. If you lowered the prices even more, this would be $1. $1 for a 23-year-old album, which would make more sense. But still, this would be a goddamn $1.25. You know, the handheld radio guide was $9.99, 10 plus tax, $10.05. So this would be $5.05 if you lowered the prices anymore. You're lowering your prices already, and people are still not shopping at your store. You're not the Macy's of cheap shopping. That's Kohl's. Kohl's is doing pretty well with that. But analysts are still worried. Neil Saunders, managing director of Global Data Retail, said in a report, Target should not chase Walmart on price, as it is in a battle that they cannot easily be as it's about that cannot easily be won. We also believe that many of Target's issues are not solely price related. Thank you. Like I said, they're selling stuff that people don't want to begin with. Here's a good example of how Target is. Look, I'm not kidding you. Handheld radio. Handheld radio. TLC album. This should give you an idea of the shit that Target is still selling. Just saying. Just saying. Jolene Wharton, a real estate strategist with retail intelligence from 360 PI, agreed that Target would lose a price war with Amazon. Yeah, they would, because Amazon sells stuff at prices people will actually be willing to pay for, and they will be actually willing to pay for those prices because considering the age of the items. Like, for example, if somebody's selling a book that is moderately well, they'll pay about maybe $10 for it. If it'll fall apart, it falls apart. But if it's a fresh new book that just has that the spine isn't even cracked yet, or if it's in good condition or great condition, they'll spend about at least $20-$30 for it because it's in good condition. But if it's in shitty condition, they're going to pay a penny for it. And Cohen analyst Oliver Chen said in a report that the company has a lot to do of the work to do when back the market share and be more competitive against Amazon, Walmart, and big supermarkets. First of all, Walmart, like I said, Target and Walmart are in the same gravy boat here, but Walmart's doing a little bit better on a daily basis. And when you say other big supermarkets, what are you talking about? ShopRite. I probably aged myself again. ShopRite or Giant or BJ's or Costco. Are you talking about those places that are, grocery stores? Are you talking about those places that are meant to be grocery stores? First of all, number one, Target and Walmart are not the place to buy groceries. Grocery stores are. Maybe Walmart's a place to buy cheap milk if you're in the store. But for the most part, no one says, honey, I'm gonna get a steak from Walmart tonight. What cut of beef do you want? No one ever says that. No, they go to a butcher if they want a good slice of meat. The company needs to do a better job in excluding and attracting shoppers looking to pick up a few items versus stock up. We also believe food remains a work in progress, Chen wrote. You're not a grocery store. You're a retail store. Stop selling groceries there. Let the grocery store sell the groceries. This is why they're called grocery stores. Target woes are the latest setback for a company hit by a massive data breach in 2013. The credit and debit cards of about 40 million customers were stolen. No shit. That's another reason why people aren't shopping at Target. Are the CIA secretly stealing my cash? Is the IRS trying to get more taxes out of my credit card? Are thieves trying to steal my identity? This is why people also don't shop there, because of that problem. And also because of this chip shit. You put your chip in the card reader. People can steal your information easily from there. because it takes about 5 minutes to do that process anyway. Within 5 minutes, a good hacker could steal your finances like that. The problem led to the outsider of longtime CEO Craig Steinfeld Cornell, formerly an executive at Pepsi, overtook 2014 and had appeared to right the ship salesman back up. Well, what did he do that was correct? He was making Target sell stuff people would actually want to buy. And he was, telling Target people to stop selling jackets that are made of pleather at $76 a jacket. No one's going to pay for a pleather jacket at $76. People will buy a cheap leather jacket at that price, but not a cheap pleather jacket. They're willing to spend at least $40 on a pleather jacket. But Cornell now faces another problem that may not be so easy to fix. Convincing customers there's a reason to put their phones down and head back to the mall. I get where you're going with this. I do. I get where you're going with this. Yes, there is a reason to socialize. There's a reason to put the phones down for 5 fucking minutes and go with your friends to a mall. I get that appeal. I understand that argument. I've been making this argument for the past year and a half so far. I'm a millennial and I can't even relate to other millennials because I'm old-fashioned. This shows how old-fashioned I am. I listen to this more than I watch TV now. My TV viewing time went from 24/7 to 3 hours a fucking day. 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. That isn't that much TV viewing time. I get the appeal of going out and socializing. I get that. But you're not going to convince college millennials to put down their phones. They're addicted to them. They're living in a virtual matrix already. They're living in a virtual matrix already. They're not going to put their phones down for 5 seconds. And if they even shut their phones off for 30 minutes, they act like they haven't been on the web for 7 years. I get the appeal, but it's not going to work on my generation, especially the stuck-up millennials who think they know everything. I follow, when I watch TV, if I watch news, I watch Bloomberg News. I watch the Bloomberg station because I get financial news from there. The right wing side of me is very financial. The right wing side of me likes to keep up with the stocks. The right wing side of me is very interested by that. And when I see these stocks going up and down, they say, well, stop selling shit that people aren't going to buy. Like these things. A 23-year-old person is not going to be interested in a 23-year-old album in a $10 handheld radio. They're not going to be interested in the stuff. They're going to be interested in the iWatch or the new iPad Pod Nano. They're going to be interested in the sports band that reads your heart monitor rate. They're going to be more interested in that than those two items I showed you. They're going to be more interested in buying a vinyl record now because vinyl is coming back. They're going to be more interested in buying a vinyl record and a record player instead of a handheld radio. They're going to be more interested in buying a Michael Jackson Thriller jacket because I can see them coming back soon. The 70s are coming back. We have the records that are making a big hit again. Michael Jackson's Thriller jacket's going to be a new hit. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. then you're gonna have people in their 20s wanting to buy Michael Jackson's Thriller jacket or a version of it at retail stores. You want to sell that shit. You don't want to sell, the best of Felix the Cat, because most people my age have no idea who Felix the Cat is. I do, because my grandmother tells me stories how much she liked to watch the show when she was a kid. Felix the Cat is from the late 50s and early 60s. That just shows you what millennials are not into. Millennials, we're not, for the most part, they're not into older stuff like that. They don't have an appreciation for retro. I had a working VHS player until a cable guy snipped wires and 2,000 volts of electricity went to my VHS player. But when it was working, I would watch VHSs on it. I have VHSs that I bought from flea markets and a thrift store. I appreciate that stuff. I do. I appreciate that stuff. But a lot of millennials don't. You have to understand that a lot of people in my generation are very new age. They're very hip. They're very into the moment. They're not really, they're for retro stuff, but they're not for, 30 or 20-year-old items that don't sell anymore. Name me a millennial buy a wind-up clock like I did from Rite Aid. A wind-up clock that you have to crank, or a wind-up watch. Name me a millennial who's interested in buying in that stuff. No, they want a battery-operated watch, or they want a smart watch, or an iPhone watch, which I think is the dumbest thing in the world. Because what happens when you're cutting your salad and you're left-handed? You end up stabbing yourself because you're that, wearing that watch, that you accidentally end up stabbing yourself while talking to somebody. Hey, maybe Apple's trying to make people commit suicide. I don't know, but you get the point. You get the point. Millennials are into that stuff. Hell, I mean, I'm into even some new age stuff. I like to wear, like checkered shit myself. I'm not gonna wear always that press down shirt. I mean, I like to dress fancy when I go out, but that's about it. When I go out, it's not my attire anymore. I like to be casual. I mean, this is as modern as I'm going to get. Work boots while wearing jeans and a casual shirt. I get. That's it. This is what millennials dress like on a daily basis. Or t-shirts, very casual. But Nintendo is going out of business. Nintendo is going out of style. Unless a millennial appreciates nostalgia, you're not going to get millennials to buy a Frogger t-shirt or a Frogger graphic tee. Maybe that was cute in the 90s, but it's 2017. Sell something that people are going to buy. Maybe a One Direction graphic tee, or maybe Adam Lambert graphic tee, or maybe a shirt that has Milo Yiannopoulos on it. You'll get a lot of people like me from the LGBT community who would buy that. Sell graphic tees of I don't know, let's say a modern day movie like Suicide Squad, or maybe a modern day movie like I don't know, Training Day. I don't know. Sell modern day shit that millennials are going to be interested in buying, or sell Hawaiian shirts with album covers on it. Wouldn't this be a cool shirt? This had album covers on it. If this had classic rock album covers on it, That would be so cool. I would buy that shirt. I would buy that. See, when I watch Bloomberg television, I think of myself as a business owner and the consumer at the same time. And when I think of myself as a consumer, what would I sell at a store? What would I want to buy? Because thinking like a millennial in some cases, I'm thinking, okay, people from my generation like this, and I like some of this stuff. This would sell. You have to think like your consumers. You have to think out of the younger consumer basis. You have to think of my generation. You have to think of the millennial generation. You have to think about, if I was a millennial, what would I buy? If you don't ask those questions, if you don't think of yourself as a consumer instead of the owner, you have to think of yourself as the consumer. What would you buy from your own store? If your vision of a hot hip store is 30-year-old handheld radios or 20-year-old handheld radios that you would see at a pool, seeing your grandfather use or uncle use, you're not gonna get much people to buy stuff. But if you say stuff like, well, I would want the latest iPhone, and you sell iPhones, well, you're going to get people to come to your store. Or maybe a Milo Yiannopoulos booking, because a meet and greet and Milo Yiannopoulos is the hot topic. Get what I'm saying? You sell books by YouTubers there, a meet and greet, book signing, a meet and greet, and you sell the books at the same time. You name it. People use YouTube a lot. I'm a YouTuber. If I wrote a book, I would want to meet my fans. Just saying. And if would just happen to be a Target, I would want a meet and greet there. I would want to sign people's books because people would want to say, hey, James, can you sign my book? Get what I'm saying? That's how Target is going to fix itself. But if Target continues to do this 1990s way of retailing, they're going to fail. They're going to fall through the cracks. Sears fell through the cracks because they thought Craftsman was the best tool that men wanted. The reason why they kept selling Craftsman was because Tim Allen talked about it in his special Men Are Pigs. When he says, you know where I go for my tools? Sears. Yeah. A special well over 20 years old talks about Sears being the place to buy tools. And it was popular in the 90s to buy tools there because you thought of Tim Allen when you thought of Sears. You thought of Tim Allen when you thought of tools at Sears because Tim Allen did Sears sponsorships on TV. Tim Allen did a lot of that stuff for Sears, and they were popular. But you're not going to get people to shop at your store, Target, when you sell stuff like a 30-year-old album, Dirty Dancing, on CD. I like Dirty Dancing just as much as any other person. But if I'm going to think like myself, a millennial, I'm going to think like a millennial. Because I'm a part of this generation. Do I want the Dirty Dancing album, which I could listen to on my Alexa, or do I want Michael Bublé's latest album? Michael Bublé's latest album. That would be that's what I would want to buy. But I could listen to the Dirty Dancing album anytime on my Alexa. I could listen to it. I could listen to any of the songs on my handheld radio. But once again, Target, I will stress, you will get people, if you get Milo Yiannopoulos to do a book signing there, or any YouTuber to do a signing there of their book, you'll get people to do that. But you won't get people to come to your store when you keep selling 23-year-old albums like this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little long-winded rant, slash a reality check for Target. And if you're a Target employee watching this, I hope you get the idea. Your store is not going to succeed if your store keeps selling 90s relics. I appreciate them. Some millennials do, but not all.